losing efforts for Hope. Perhaps he'll get a turnaround for his side tonight.
Well, in the guard play for Hope has always been the focus. We've seen big games from Hope's guards, but that's where Calvin has most of their experience too, Tom. Harrison has a chance to attack that Calvin front line. He's a guy that's been that second leading scorer throughout the season for the Dutch, and in a big game like this, if they're trying to take Ben Gardner away, Harrison Blackledge could have a big opportunity.
Well, generally, you think of these two teams as being an automatic choice, one of them, to win the conference. Right now, they're not in first place, either one. They're trailing Alma. In fact, Calvin has to get going just to make the postseason. The Knights come in tonight with a record of 8-9. Great atmosphere here in the arena, though, and we've got it for you. It's Hope and Calvin coming up next right here on WGVU.
At the Community Foundation, we build our community's endowment to ensure that the Holland-Zeeland area always has the resources necessary to respond to future needs and opportunities. Join us to make a difference today, tomorrow, and forever.
At Hope, it's about challenging your mind. Hope. Learn it, love it, live it.
With 4 seconds left in this contest, down by 3.
Fellas, that's a great effort to get back where we are. It looks like we got 4 seconds. We got to have a 3. It can't be a 2. We're down 3. And here's what we're going to do. Judge, you're going to make this and we'll win the game in overtime.
Support for WGVU Public Media is provided by Macatawa Bank. We make decisions here because your business is here. More information is available at macatawabank.com.
And we are back at Hope as we get set for this battle as we move toward the century mark. And, you know, it's taken almost 100 years, but we finally, Ryan, have something close to parity in MIAA basketball. We're near the halfway point, and it's Alma on top of the league right now, and certainly Hope right in it, but Calvin faltering a little bit, and they've got to get going to even make the postseason tournament.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive how good the league is this year. You come into this week with 2 teams not named Calvin and Hope, ranked in the top 10 nationally. Of course, then this rivalry game, you put that on top. I talked to Greg Mitchell yesterday. He's like, there are no breaks right now, and certainly a rivalry game like this means that Hope needs to bring their best, even though Calvin isn't that other ranked team in terms of top 10 in the nation.
Well, you talk to the people from Hope, they'll point out that Calvin earlier this year played a team out west in Las Vegas that is ranked first or second in the nation, almost beat them, and then last week they laid an egg at Adrian, had kind of a poor game, and so it's a little bit of a question for us which team will show up tonight, but we think the rivalry will ensure that Calvin will show its best stuff here this evening. We're just seconds away from the start of the festivities here tonight, and right now we're going to throw it down for the introductions to the public address announcer.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Holland Police Department Honor Guard. Ladies and gentlemen, to honor America with the singing of our national anthem, please welcome Hope College's own 12th Street Harmony.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light
Let's go down now to Darren Deistermars, the PA announcer here at Hope College.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the DeVos Fieldhouse on the campus of Hope College for tonight's men's varsity contest between the Knights of Calvin College and your Hope College Flying Dutchmen. Here are tonight's starting lineups. First for the Knights at one forward, a 6'5" sophomore from Hudsonville, number 32, Michael Wilkes. And at one forward for the Flying Dutchman, a 6-foot senior from Carmel, Indiana, number 31, Ben Gardner. At one forward for the Knights, a 6'3" senior from Grand Rapids, number 34, Jordan Daly. And at one forward for the Flying Dutchman, a 6'6" junior from Canton, Ohio, number 20, Harrison Blackledge. Starting at center for the Knights, a 6'7" junior from Bluffton, Indiana, number 22, Cam Denny. And at center for the Flying Dutchman, a 6'8" senior from Willowbrook, Illinois, number 40, Brock Benson. At one guard for the Knights, a 6-foot senior from Niles, number 10, Austin Parks. And at one guard for the Flying Dutchman, a 5'7" junior from Rockford, number 11, Chad Carlson. And at the final guard spot for the Knights, a 6'2" sophomore from South Haven, number 20, Tony Canoni. And at the final guard spot for the Flying Dutchman, a 5'10" sophomore from Holland, number 3, Dante Hawkins. Calvin College is coached by Kevin Vandestreet. Hope College is coached by Greg Mitchell. Your officials this evening, Mr. Chad Palmer, Mr. Larry Martin, and Mr. Brad Klaus.
All right, the lights are back on. The flashing has gone away, and we are ready to go. Big question for me, Ryan, is whether or not Calvin can do enough inside against Hope here tonight. It's a smallish team. Calvin's lost some people through graduation, but Calvin still has to feel good about the fact that they've won the last 4 meetings in this series.
Yeah, it is a small ball lineup. We saw last year that Cam Denny was more of like a forward. Now he's playing center. Jordan Daly was a guard. Now he's moved into that forward spot. But this is an opportunity for Calvin to hopefully exert some of their mental advantage, and especially early on, if you can get off to a quick start on your opponent's home floor, that's something Calvin wants to do. Greg Mitchell's been a little worried about his team off to slow starts so far this year. Says that they often dig themselves a hole and then have to climb back out of it. You don't want to have that happen against your rival, because Calvin could get some confidence and this could turn into a really tight one.
I'm going to look at Jordan Daly right now, because it's a very small Hope lineup to start at least. And he's probably going to be guarded by somebody who's a fair amount smaller and not nearly as strong as he is. So
it will be interesting to see who Hope uses. Will they try and go big with a guy like Harrison Blackledge, or will they try and go smaller with someone like Gardner or maybe Dante Hawkins?
Well, right now Hawkins is the guy who I think is going that way, and the opening tip is controlled by Blackledge. You talk about the young player out there, Dante Hawkins. We haven't seen a lot of him in this series. He's emerged this year. Carlson's going to go for 3. Calvin's got an early rebound. And it was pulled out of there nicely for Calvin by Michael Wilkes. Wilkes is a guy who can shoot from the outside. He has not been shooting it very well lately. Nor has this guy, Austin Parks, who has struggled from three-point range. Cameron Denny can hit from the outside. Daly got doubled in the corner. Denny, a long ball for 3.
And that's what Denny brings to the table. He can step outside, not where Brock Benson is comfortable going. If Denny can hit that shot, maybe not that shot in particular too much more tonight, but if he can hit that outside shot, that is a huge plus for Calvin.
Early for Wilkes on Harrison Blackledge. Little confusion. Ben Gardner's behind the arc, and he ties it.
Hope getting some pretty good looks early on. Carlson missed an open look, but Ben Gardner able to knock down that three-pointer.
I want to remind the viewers at home and those watching wherever they may be that it's the orange line. That's going to be a travel, I think, against Daly. took the lob from Parks, was a little bit underneath the basket, and made a nice move, but he just forgot to get the ball down on the deck.
I think he thought he was not quite as far underneath the hoop as he ended up being, and that caused the travel.
Gardner against Daly right now. Carlson with Parks. Here's Blackledge. Might have gotten away with a walk there.
He missed the shot, but that is a matchup that Hope has to like. Wilkes guarding Blackledge. You have to think advantage Harrison in that one.
Here's Denny. Benson's going to chase him out this time. Denny puts it on the deck. Parks. Free. That's a rare shot for him, and he just cannot get it down. I shouldn't say a real rare shot. Most of his attempts are from the three-point line.
But there's Jordan Daly doing what he has done a lot more of this year, Tom, and that's rebound the basketball. 6'3", he's the second leading rebounder, that offensive board and hoop. That's been something that he's kind of added to his game.
Carlson misses his second try. What do we have underneath? This is a foul they're going to call against Calvin's Michael Wilkes, well away from the play. He locked up inside. It was Chad Palmer, the ref underneath, who made the call. So after Calvin had just taken the lead on the putback, Carlson's second triple try goes awry, but Hope gets it back with a fresh clock. 2 minutes in. Well, the ball almost went right whizzing past the ear of Parks, but he had his back to the play. Ben Gardner now. The ultimate gym rat. You talk to the Hope people, an Indiana kid who just plays all the time. And we have an illegal screen this time. And I like that call that's made early on by Brad Klaus. And it was Benson, right, Turp, that jumped out. Got the pick okay, but just kept on moving. And the Calvin player couldn't get around. That's a point of emphasis this year in college basketball in the games that I've been seeing, largely at the Division II level. They're not letting guys get away with that sliding screen.
Well, Brock Benson's a senior. I thought he was trying to do that Rye veteran maneuver, but the referee caught it, said, nope, we're not going to let that go, and called the foul.
Here's Daly. He got Gardner down, but then backed off. Denny's wide right on a triple try. That's going to fly out of bounds as somebody took a tumble. Harrison Blackledge underneath.
That was a bit of a heat check from Denny. He hit that contested one to start the game. Pats his chest, said, my bad, and Van de Streek already had him getting an earful for that kind of shot.
Mike Siegel, the sophomore from Fremont, checks on. He's the first substitution replacing Michael Wilkes. And here comes Hope, hoping to tie or take the lead. Hawkins on Cannoni. Got a kind bounce, but not kind enough. Hawkins finally got the third bounce. Carlson again. Cannoni is gaining some praise as a defender for this Calvin team. Garner from 16. This comes out nicely to Daly, and Garner nearly got it. That's a good block off there by Parks. Nice play by Ben Garner. He thought he was fouled a little bit. Greg Mitchell thought so as well, but Parks just kind of shielded Garner and kept him from retrieving that one. So Calvin has gotten off to a start they really needed, Turp. They haven't broken away or anything, but they have not come out and gotten themselves avalanched here in the first 3 or 4 minutes.
This is just fine by Calvin. Low scoring, make Hope work for every bucket, fight for the loose balls. That's exactly what Kevin Van de Streek wants to see from his club.
Parks, now Siegel. Cannoni's over on the far sideline. Denny looking to go on Benson. This is what Calvin does need some of. This is outside to Cannoni. Oh, nice look inside, and it's Daly the recipient for a 4-point Calvin lead.
Pretty feed from Denny. When you stretch out a guy like Benson, who's 6'8", he's the tallest guy on the floor. If you can take him away from the hoop, that will open up the lanes for guys like, and there's a good steal by Daly, guys like Daly to get to the basket.
Daly looks like he's going to take on the world here. Forces the shot up and gets it. That looked like a slalom run right there. He went past all the orange gates and knocked down the shot.
What a difference a year makes, Tom. Jordan Daly just so much more aggressive than we've seen in the past. A lot of confidence right now.
Nice flow to this game. Next stoppage, though, will be a television timeout. This is Hawkins from outside, can't get it. Harrison Blackledge the putback, and he was fouled by Mike Siegel, so he'll shoot two when we come back. 4 minutes, 19 seconds gone. It's Calvin surprisingly on top, 9-3 here tonight on WGVU.
Support by Freedom Village, a retirement community located in Holland, Michigan. Freedom Village is all about location. We are less than 3 blocks from historical downtown Holland and Hope College. Our City Under Roof offers an all-inclusive lifestyle for active seniors. We have an indoor swimming pool, hot tub, and gymnasium. We offer chef-prepared menus in our 5 dining rooms, a general store, full-service bank, and beauty salon. Our Life Care contract offers you long-term protection for all levels of care under one roof.
West Coast Eye Care of Holland is a proud sponsor of WGVU. Dr. Kate Mulder and staff invite you to see like you're in the front row. For more, 616-395-2020.
I don't want to do things halfway. I want to do them all the way. When I decide to do something, I really go all in. Part of this might be a bit of the Calvinist spirit that's been instilled in me. I don't know, like the desire to really just dive into a field, to go as far as you can into it. That's being faithful to yourself and your abilities that God has given you.
Well, here it is. Daly on that Danny Ainge-like run through everybody, scoring the bucket. He's got 6 early on. And Calvin Ryan has shot it pretty well, 67%. That's the only bucket in the game so far for Hope, and it belongs to Ben Gardner.
Yeah, crack work by our production staff getting that bucket. Hope is 1 of 7. They did not have any other to choose from. They've had good looks, though, Tom. I mean, 14%, not the way you want to start the game, but they really can't complain about the shot selection they've had. And then, of course, Harrison Blackledge has done some good work on the offensive boards.
I think it's going to be important for Greg Mitchell to keep an eye on the minutes of Ben Gardner if he's chasing Daly out there. Daly's not going to rest a lot in this ball game as Blackledge makes the first free throw. And you'll sometimes see a guy who can score like Gardner slow down noticeably in the second half because of the defensive responsibilities that he's being called upon for at the other end. Blackledge from Canton, Ohio, and makes it 2 out of 2 for Harrison. Calvin's got a new man in the game. It's Carlos Amoros, the freshman from Wyoming, 5'9". He's replaced Parks right now on the bounce. Calvin with Michael Welch at the top of the key. He's in the game, and here is Daly, a step back jumper. Pushed the envelope a little bit on that one, hurried it. Carlson, who's missed his 2 field goal tries, will be matched up with a guy a little bit closer to his size, and Amoros. That's a little bit of a knockaway. Could this be an over and back? Ouch. Thought that ball rolled off the leg of Blackledge. Here comes Hope, though, on the run. Gardner. Triple try on the way. Good rebound inside on the miss by Sam Otto, who snuck in there, and it's his opposite number pulling down the rebound, Michael Welch for Calvin.
No love from the hometown rims for the Dutchmen so far. A couple of long guns in and out for them, and just tough luck right now trying to shoot the basketball, Tom.
Grand Valley's got Cannoni and Amoros in the game right now with Welch, Daly, and Mike Siegel, who's back on.
Right now, I'm wondering who outside of Jordan Daly wants to take a shot.
I think it's this guy, Cannoni. Line drives it there, missed it in duress. Daly fought inside and drew the foul against Benson. Boy, who else but Jordan Daly? He's the strongest player physically that Calvin has, and he's just going to have to create some space down in the paint for Calvin to have any success tonight.
Well, I think everybody knew that Hope was going to pay a lot of attention to Jordan Daly, especially without some of that secondary scoring out there right now. But if he's just going to grab the offensive rebound, go back up with it, I think that's probably a fine offensive game plan.
That's 7 of the 10 for Daly so far here, 10-5 ball game. We're talking about Jordan Brink with Jeff Phoebus, the SID for Calvin. Jordan Brink working behind the scenes with the Detroit Pistons. And Jeff Phoebus commenting on the problem Andre Drummond's had shooting free throws, said, hey, they got a guy in the video room who doesn't get out for much air, who shot 90% in college. Might as well give him a try.
At this point, I think they should try just about anything, but Jordan Brink would certainly qualify as an expert in my opinion.
I think Voodoo Cures is next on the list for Andre Drummond. Calvin's got, or I should say Hope's got a new man in the game, Cody Stivey, big number 5, had a big ball game last year. And this is going to be a block on the baseline that goes against Calvin. Let's wait for Brad Kloss's call. He's going to say it was Michael Welch. Mike Siegel was also in the area.
That is his first. Team's third.
Almost to the 6-minute mark of the first half. Calvin playing pretty well right now, 11-5. against the second-place team in the MIAA. Here is Otto. Carlson, third time lucky, decides against it. Gardner. That might be, oh boy, I thought Harrison Blackledge got away, maybe, Terp, with one right there.
Yeah, he was working really hard inside on number 30, Michael Welch, who just picked up 2 fouls basically in 2 possessions, well, the same possession for Hope. Blackledge is a load. I mean, he's the same height as these guys, but he is heavier than Calvin's bigs.
Takeaway now. Denny's got a man out. He finds Ambrose. Can he go hard to the pipe? He does and scores it over the top of Stivey. Impressive for the young fella.
I thought Stivey got a piece of that, Tom. And if he did, he probably helped it go in, but great take to the rim and another nice pass by Denny.
Here's Stivey, who can hit from outside, needs to get his feet set. Gardner with Daly. Daly's not breaking much of a sweat at the defensive end. Here's Blackledge. Drop step, goes inside, no, and another rebound for Big Cam Denny. That's a risky pass, and it doesn't pay off. Boy, Calvin, with an 8-point lead, needs to consolidate these possessions a little bit better than that.
Yeah, Kevin Vanderstreet cannot like seeing his team off to such a great start give the ball away in that instance. And then it's a 5-point swing because there's Gardner from the corner. Right now, he's the only one that can hit from the field for Hope.
Only goals in this contest. 7 minutes in, 2 3-point baskets for Gardner and a couple of free throws for Harrison Blackledge to round out the scoring. Here's Denny at the top of the key. Nate Drews is going to come in along with Parks for Calvin. Here's Denny looking to go showtime, and Stivey bumped him, according to Larry Martin, who is our third official here tonight. That gets us to some substitutions. Parks is coming in. Ambrose is going out. Let's take a look at Ben Gardner again. Got free in the corner. Not a guy you want to run away from. He's kind of a more of a to the basket sort for a 6-footer, but he will shoot the 3-pointer, the lefty. Drop inside. Denny dribbled it. Probably shouldn't have. Missed the shot. And here comes Gardner on the run. Calvin, though, with numbers back. Gardner trying to go lefty all the way and does.
And there's that to the basket you just mentioned, Tom.
I think whoever got caught on him that time, and it wasn't Parks, lost sight of the fact that they were guarding the left-hander.
And he's just so slippery. Ben Gardner gets to the hole. He's not overly overpowering. He's just slinks in there, slides through the defense, and makes his way to the basket.
I was going to say that was a crazy shot by Cam Denny, but he knocked it down from about 27.
I have to assume Kevin Vanderstreet is used to this because guys bombing away from NBA range at this juncture in the game, and he's not off his feet pulling out what's,
well,
trying to, yeah.
I don't think he minds, but when you're the biggest guy out there, you better be making a lot of them.
And so far, he's 2 for 3 on shots that I was surprised that he was willing to take.
Hawkins back in. Here's a triple try for Otto. Stivey went over the top. Knocked it out of bounds. Lucky he didn't get a foul call there. And we're at another media timeout. We'll take a break. Calvin still playing with the lead at 16-10 tonight on WGBU.
Cunningham Dahlman PC, attorneys at law, proud sponsor of Hope vs. Calvin basketball on WGVU TV. Cunningham Dahlman PC, accessible, responsive, effective. More information at holland-law.com.
By recycling paper, plastics, metals, and more, Padness is making the world we live in a better one. Padness, recycling the world over and over.
Holland Hospital Sports Medicine provides non-surgical and surgical care for team athletes and weekend warriors alike. Their team approach offers comprehensive diagnosis, expert treatment, and personalized rehabilitation for sports-related injuries. For more information, hollandhospital.org/sportsmed.
Win a 7-day trip for 2 to London, England, complete with a tour of Highclere Castle, setting for PBS's popular series Downton Abbey. Or a 2-day stay at the historic West Baden Springs Hotel in French Lick, Indiana. Or a 2-day stay at the Amway Grand Plaza Hotel in Grand Rapids. Get your tickets today to support WGVU Public Media, and you could win the grand prize trip for 2 to London or any one of our other prizes at the WGVU Travel Raffle. Just go to WGVUTravelRaffle.com.
Well, Cam Denny is a body length at least beyond that 3-point line there, Ryan, and That's a big ball that went down for Calvin.
Not a shot I expected him to take. A lot of time in the shot clock. He's knocked down 2 of them, though, so you can't argue with the results, Tom.
Calvin brings Cannoni back. He's out there with Parks right now. And a little bit of a makeshift lineup elsewhere. Michael Wilkes is on. He's got the ball right now. Wilkes got tied up. Here's Cam Denny out there again, thinking about it. Not this time, but it's a good rebound by Calvin's Wilkes. And he is fouled, so says Mr. Chad Palmer on that call. Common foul. Both teams well underneath the bonus right now. 4 on both sides. Denny on the inbounds. Cannoni hasn't really offered much. Denny was a little too casual, and he got stolen. The ball stolen by Keith Brushweiler, who had just hustled into the ball game for the home side. Brushweiler, junior from St. Joseph. This is Sam Otto. Had 7 triples in a game earlier this year, but they tell us he hasn't been shooting as well of late. Alex Edson in for the first time. A guy who's had some big ball games in this series, now in his senior year, coming off the Pines. Stivey, short baseline, misses. Brushweiler, the putback.
That's a lot of found money for Hope. If they can get offensive rebounds and put-ins from Brushweiler, Stivey, while Harrison Blackledge is getting a breather on the bench, if these guys contribute, that's a good thing for them.
How about that nice little move there by Tony Cannoni to show and go? They were overplaying the pass back to the point. Tony Cannoni just took off. Calvin still by 6. Here is Hawkins trying to go on Parks. Forced it up. Drew the foul. It's a held ball. And that'll be possession to Calvin. So
great
work
defense.
Done inside.
Yeah, Nate Drews just got his hand on it. It looked like a foul just because of the way that Hawkins hit the deck, but very nice defense right there by Calvin, who's really tried to play some aggressive D, Tom, forced some turnovers, and they've been pretty successful right now with this 6-point lead.
A little bigger lineup, though Benson's still out of there, but look what we have here, another tie-up that's going to result in Hope keeping the basketball. Somebody from Hope was trying to call a timeout, probably unaware of the fact that his team was going to gain possession if he just let somebody else climb onto him. It kind of worked out in the end for Keith Brushweiler.
A little sloppy here. You got some second unit guys out there, a few of the starters, but the leading scorers both sitting on the bench right now for both teams.
Edson may have gotten away with a walk as he kind of jump stopped to the top of the key. Otto, Brushweiler, Edson looking to crank it. He is the guy that's got the green light to shoot. Another lefty trying to go, forced it and traveled. One last little bump to get by Cannoni, who held his ground. Cannoni's not a real tall guy. I wouldn't say he's a short player by any stretch, about 6'2", but he's a very solid 185, so he can hold his own physically with guys 3, 4, 5 inches taller.
Yeah, and he's not backing down against these Hope guards that really are the instigators of that Dutchman offense. And so far, Cannoni and Parks doing a good job defensively.
That's good work by Cannoni. Left the shot way short, though. Calvin very nearly saved it back in bounds. Cannoni had all but the final act there. Good crossover, got open, had a good look, and just didn't get enough sauce on it. From the outside, triple try goes for Cody Stivey.
Well, and there's Hope's answer to Cam Denny. Stivey certainly has range, and as you mentioned, Tom, a big game last year. Him coming in off the bench, he is definitely a capable scorer.
Parks is going to go for 3. Shy. Calvin an offensive rebound. Parks might take another one. He does. Wide right. So he hadn't taken any shots in the early minutes in this ball game. Took 2 threes in about 6 seconds. Inside, the shot will not go. Parks the rebound off the miss by Stivey. Stivey's a tough handle. Here's Cannoni, who's getting the wrath of the student crowd right now after an air ball.
The Dew crew will not forget, and they will also not forgive, Tom.
I think they just like that lyrical name, Tony Cannoni. Short corner jumper slides out there for Michael Wilkes. Calvin's had the lid on it, but they still have a lead, at least momentarily. That could go away any time now. That's a good flick inside. A great read by Jordan Daly. Almost like an NFL quarterback throwing down the middle late and not seeing the middle linebacker dropping into coverage.
Yeah, I thought Stivey had that pass, but Jordan Daly, the senior, read it, and then he reads the defense getting to the hole, Tom.
Hawkins tried to come over from the weak side, but Jordan Daly's got a locomotive, and he's doing a little bit of talking right now with Sam Otto. Not a friendly chat either. This is Edson off the rim for a three. Parks another rebound underneath.
Calvin's undersized, but they're doing a good job bounding the basketball, not only on the defensive end, Tom, but also on the offensive glass.
Well, it's been one and done a number of times here for Hope early on. Rather surprisingly, Daly gets the bounce again, and now the lead goes back to 7 with 7:24 remaining.
And he is talking on his way off the court. Jordan Daly feeling it right now, and you can't blame him. That's a tough turnaround shot, and the guy is just working that Hope defense right now.
30-second timeout right now. We would normally be going to our next media break at this point, but because it was called by Greg Mitchell, we will stay here momentarily. You know what happens now, Turp. They'll play for 2 seconds. Somebody knock the ball out of bounds, and
here comes the media timeout.
Everybody will run back to their bench.
So it's funny. I ran into Greg actually last night, Tom. He was on the recruiting trail at West Ottawa in the West Ottawa Hudsonville game. Asked him how things are going. You know, obviously a good start to the year for Hope, and he said, well, thanks. The one thing that's been bothering me is we've been starting slow. We're letting teams get ahead, and then it seems like we like to come back. He did not want that to happen right now against Calvin, but it seems like that's exactly what's going on for Hope.
Here's Daly against pressure. 3 guys had a look at him. He got rid of all of them and got the shot down. Carlson's been on the bench for quite a while. Back in now. Otto. Gardner picked up by Daly. Blackledge from beyond the arc. Can't find it. It's another Calvin rebound. And there is Jordan Daly. Almost unleashed to Amoros, who's in there again for Parks.
You can tell Greg Mitchell realizes the importance of this moment in the game because he was very quick to get Gardner and Harrison Blackledge back into the ball game. But Jordan Daly right now, they got to figure out somebody to guard him.
This is going to be a immediate timeout. Jordan Daly's about set to go to the line to shoot 2. We'll come back with more on WGVU.
With 4 seconds left in this contest, down by 3.
Fellas, that's a great effort to get back where we are. It looks like we got 4 seconds. We got to have a 3. It can't be a 2. We're down 3. And here's what we're going to do. Judge, you're going to make this and we'll win the game in overtime.
Support for WGVU Public Media is provided by Macatawa Bank. We make decisions here because your business is here. More information is available at macatawabank.com.
At Hope, it's more than just a game. Hope. We live for this.
Calvin's done a very good job defensively. Cody Stivey's had a 3. They've had 3 threes in this contest, but he did with those early goals by Gardner, and Hope just hasn't had much offense. And Daly, in the meantime, is getting exactly what he's been looking for, Ryan.
Well, Daly's been all the offense. He has half the points right now, over half for Calvin. Chance to add to that as he's at the free throw line. He's been getting what he wants right now, Tom, and that has to bother Greg Mitchell as he tries to figure out a way to stop this Calvin senior.
One thing I would say about Jordan Daly, who misses badly after the timeout, he is the alpha dog out there right now for either side. Nobody really seems to want to mix it up with him, and he's gone down there against taller people inside and got what he's needed. The second free throw does go. Calvin comfortably on top, 23-18. We have just under 7 minutes remaining here in the first half. A little pressure now. Daly against Carlson. Blackledge doubled. Nice work by Calvin. Tony Canoni's got it. Carter tries to come in from behind. Tries again. Very nearly got him the second time as well. Little confusing look pays off for Vanderstreek and Calvin.
Looks like they almost went 1-3-1 off that break, Tom.
Just a little different look. Daly touched it last. Garner flashed across. That's a bad angle on the entry pass from the top of the key for Calvin. They've got to get a little sharper, tighter to the man there. And
I think Ben Gardner was on a mission. He was getting that ball back some way, somehow during that possession. Almost stole it twice from Cannoni, and then actually does knock it off of Daly.
Yep, third time lucky for Gardner, who gave a great effort. Otto, now Blackledge. Both feet there, maybe a little quickly. Here's Gardner. Calvin switching nicely and clogging the middle beautifully. This is Gardner for three again, and he's got another one down. The guy that was late getting there on the switch is Cam Denny.
Well, you talk about Jordan Daly having over half of Calvin's points. That's exactly what Ben Gardner is doing as well. He is the only one having an effective game right now offensively for Hope.
Calvin's just got to hang on to this ball right here. The tie-up would be Calvin basketball. Gardner with the triple.
It's funny, Tom, all three of his three-pointers have come from basically that same spot. And that's definitely the area of the court that he likes and he's comfortable with.
Calvin with 17 on the shot clock. We haven't had anything close to a shot clock violation so far here. I don't even remember hearing the countdown. Here's Denny now with Benson. Benson's going to have to force out on him, so what Calvin has to do is get the ball inside to make up for the fact that Benson has gone away. From the outside, Cannoni, no. Two guys on it for Calvin, and when that happens, invariably you lose it. Carlson on the run. Denny got rid of Benson. Benson forced it up and in over Mike Siegel.
You know, I've been waiting for them to go inside. Now, that happened because Calvin had a miscommunication on defense, but Brock Benson's a senior. He's the tallest player on the floor. I'm a little surprised they haven't gone to him a little bit more in the post.
This is Ambrose from the top of the key. Kind of a flat ball off the back bracket. Hope can tie it with a triple here. And that's the guy who's been shooting them. Gardner creates the triple try, which is off the back iron. The miss there from Steven Wittenbach, who had just snuck into the game, a noted three-point shooter for Hope. Trying to D up right now, and then he grabbed on the Calvin player, Mike Siegel, who went by him.
And Ben Gardner set up a perfect look for Wittenbach. Calvin collapsing right now because Gardner's been so effective offensively. Hope's got to like that shot. It's just they need to knock down. Somebody else outside of Gardner needs to knock down one from the outside.
Wittenbach, a big high school scorer at Forest Hills Central. Had some injury problems during his time here. Actually stepped away from basketball for 1 year because of foot problems, but he's back now playing in his final season. Here's Cannoni. You're right about that. They have an elephant memory when it comes to that triple try that didn't go. Nice dish inside. Oh! Denny couldn't have teed it up any better for Michael Wilkes, who just lost his concentration.
Well, Hope probably was complaining about the rims not being friendly to start the game there. They got the hometown discount on those. And Gardner once again sliding into the hoop. Wilkes was there, but he was inside the circle, and the officials are going to make that blocking call every time.
Well, if you're down there, you might as well go for the shot because you're not going to get a foul called, and certainly under any other circumstances, that would have been a charge. Gardner was out of control, went in hard, hit the man that was in the circle, and misses the free throw.
Tough luck for Wilkes on both ends. He misses a layup that's down and out, and then he takes a charge, but he's inside the circle. Not a good sequence of events for him.
Kelvin has gone 3 minutes without a bucket. Gardner makes one. It's a 2-point ball game now.
Kevin Vanderstreek uses his TV timeouts very wisely, but I wouldn't be surprised if Calvin doesn't score here that he thinks about trying to slow down this momentum.
Denny against Benson. I don't think he wants to jack it up now. Looking to see if he can create a double and get rid of it. Ducked up and under. Way too hard on the shot. But it comes to Daly. And Daly knifes inside. They're going to call Benson, I think, in the lane. And that, I believe, is going to be the bonus situation. Yeah, it's going to be 1-1. They're going to call Wittenbach on the foul. And Parks comes back in for Ambrose.
Just a case where Denny made a nice move, too hard, and Gardner's so excited to get out on the break because of the way things have been going for Hope. Runs into Carlson, his own guy. Who else ends up with it? It's Denny.
Very sloppy. Important now for Daly to knock down some free throws. He may not be Jordan Brink, but he's been pretty effective tonight, and His scoring so far for his side has been sensational. 13 of the 24 for number 34 in maroon tonight for Calvin.
And as I meant to say, Daly just seems to be around the ball no matter what. Has been making all the plays for the Knights so far in this first half.
Well, Calvin could use a secondary score. Denny's had 2 threes, but that has been basically it. Cannoni's got a bucket, but nobody else but Jordan Daly. Benson trying to bump there on Cam Denny. This ball came out to midcourt, but retrieved by Gardner with Daly. Looking to go. Denny's going to see if he can get out on him. He does enough. This is Sam Otto. That was a walk, no doubt about it. He had pivoted once and then took off, and he was nailed by Larry Martin. We'll take a break. Calvin still on top by 4 here tonight at the DeVos Fieldhouse.
So I've been a worship leader here on campus. Those of us leading are just trying to bring the rest of the congregation with us into the presence of God. It doesn't matter who we are in a sense, like we're all together as one praising God, and I don't know, it's a really cool communal thing. You know, I have a very real sense of I know this is what I was made to do, and I can glorify Him with this, and He loves it, and He loves me.
At Gentex Corporation, we are currently hiring new team members and offer a wide range of benefits, including quarterly profit sharing, tuition reimbursement, and in-company promotions. Learn more at gentex.com. Gentex, a smarter vision.
Support by Freedom Village, a retirement community located in Holland, Michigan. Freedom Village is all about location. We are less than 3 blocks from historical downtown Holland and Hope College. Our city under roof offers an all-inclusive lifestyle for active seniors. We have an indoor swimming pool, hot tub, and gymnasium. We offer chef-prepared menus in our 5 dining rooms, a general store, full-service bank, and beauty salon. Our Life Care contract offers you long-term protection for all levels of care under one roof.
Basket inside by Brock Benson. And then watch the play here. Daly just picks the pocket of a couple of guys. They called Witten back, but Benson's lucky turf that they didn't get him for that one. And here's Cannoni with Parks in the backcourt right now. Daly stays out there. Cannoni all the way down, just left it short again. He couldn't play through the contact. Made the move. Probably should have been able to finish. Edson's back in there right now, the lefty. Wittenbach with Daly.
Kelvin has had a couple of good looks, Tom. Just no one outside Jordan Daly able to finish. Hope, meanwhile, trying to find someone that can finish outside of Ben Gardner, and there's Brock Benson.
That's a real nice job done by Denny. Really a little bit unlucky. I think Benson was trying to get that ball up on the glass, and he kind of lost it a little bit, and it went right straight through the rim.
Well, that's what Hope needs. They need someone to step up, and Benson's been able to do it a little bit. They can find some scoring inside. That's a huge plus.
Boy, Edson came down. Wittenbach's going to try for 3, and it's there. And Steven Wittenbach, the senior, puts his team on top for the first time tonight. Big ball down for him and for his team. And suddenly Kevin Vanderstreek's got some worries. It was great ball movement. I think really maybe the key to this play is Edson has an opportunity, doesn't take it. Calvin collapses, and then Wittenbach is open for the 3.
Well, Wittenbach doing a great job as the trailer, watching the play develop, makes himself available. Edson finds him, and you were right, Tom. If he's known as a three-point shooter, I believe it, because he looks very comfortable firing it from the outside. And just like that, also, Kevin Vanderstreek, just coming out of a TV timeout, recognizes that the momentum going Hope's way, 20 seconds, trying to slow things down as quickly as he can. First lead for Hope in this ball game, I believe.
Calvin's gone 5 minutes without a goal. Trailing now for the first time in a long time. Cannoni got bumped there. He just ran himself up a blind alley. And here comes Carlson on the move. Hope is going to look for that triple again if they can find it. Still got Edson and also Wittenbach out there. Wittenbach had a look. Edson, great circus move, can't get it down, and Cannoni leading 4 Calvin players out. Daly going right at Wittenbach, who got a hand in on him. Well, I don't know how he anticipated that change of direction by Daly, but he put his hand right on the ball.
Great play by Wittenbach, who I think was trying to take a charge, and then when Daly went around him, slapped the ball away.
Inside, that's going to be Blackledge. Good work done there by Cameron Denny. And, I know the young man's got some ability to shoot the ball from outside, but we saw the last missed three that he had. He was prancing backwards, and he found himself staring at a 3-on-1 fast break. It's good when it works, but it would work a lot better if he did it when there were big guys in the lineup with him and might be able to get one of those balls if it comes off the rim.
Well, and I think Kevin Vanderstreet told Denny, get inside. Let's try and get these guys into foul trouble. Benson does have 2 personal fouls, and I think he's telling Denny, get in there and go to work. Now, that is Blackledge's first, but we'll see if they put Benson on Denny when Calvin's next trip comes down.
Carlson, Gardner got around this time, cut off. Blackledge really bumping with Daly, who gave no quarter. Carlson, Parks, good pick up there. 10 on the shot clock for Hope. This is Edson. Ben Gardner's got time. That's a little bit of a fourth, but wow.
He saw the shot clock winding down. Tom was not in his usual shooting motion. Knocked it down. Gardner feeling it so far in the first half.
Well, it's been Gardner for Hope getting it done. Daly for Calvin, and everybody else has been pretty much watching. That's a little bit of a push by Edson. Got away with it against Canoni. Denny for 3, and well, just when you think he's going to run out of nerve, he pours home another triple.
I wondered what was going to happen when he was open. He'd been shooting only contested threes, but he was very confident lining that one up and nothing but the bottom.
This is Gardner. Is he going to again for 3? Not this time.
That's his spot. Not able to hit that time, but Gardner really looking strong for Hope, and Calvin doesn't really have an answer right now for him.
Wait, Alex Edson did a good job that time. Very nearly cut off the path of Canoni. This is Gardner's, which is over the top of a taller player. And then Denny again, and he is way out there. And it's interesting. The righty likes to shoot from the left side. The lefty Gardner likes to shoot from the right side.
Benson just didn't close out fast enough on Denny. He knows, though, that Denny can take him off the dribble, so he's kind of in a quandary there if Denny keeps knocking down that outside shot. Meanwhile, Gardner's just knocking down everything.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm taking a look at this guy at the free throw line right now, Tony Canoni. We call him Tony C, and I know this is a little too young for you, Turp, but he reminds me a little bit of the old Red Sox outfielder Tony Conigliaro, the great prospect who's also Tony C, whose career was ended prematurely when he got beamed back in his early days with the Red Sox. Somebody's going to be going to the computer now to do a facial comparison of Tony Canoni, and
there will be a meme by halftime, don't worry.
Tony Conigliaro. That's for the older crowd only. The over 50 set. Here's Gardner spinning, ran right into the Calvin man. Calvin needed somebody to get on that ball. Carlson, little man. Benson goes over the top, gets it back. Vanderstreet thought his guys were just outfought there. Mike Siegel should have been able to glom onto that one for Calvin. And that means that Hope will get the final shot of the first half. It's Calvin by 1 right now. Clock running down on Gardner. We think we know where this one's going. Daly's with him. Daly steps in nicely. That's a big force by Gardner. And as a result of the great work at the defensive end, Calvin is able to maintain the lead. It's Calvin 30, Hope 29. Ryan Terpstra going down right now. We're going to get an interview, I think, with Kevin Vanderstreet, who is ambling over that way right now. Jeff Phoebus coordinating for us. And as we consider the first half of action, let's enjoy hearing from Kevin Vanderstreet and our own Ryan Terpstra. Ryan.
Well, thank you very much, Tom. Coach Vanderstreet, great start by you guys. You did have to hold off a late rally, but have to be pleased going into halftime with the lead.
Well, I thought we played hard to get started. You know, it's really physical and intense, and, you know, I thought we turned it over a couple times at, you know, things that we rushed a little bit, a couple boards we didn't get, but, you know, if you're playing hard, you can make some adjustments.
You talk about Jordan Daly's play. Seems to be not only working the rebounds on the offensive and defensive glass, but he's getting to the hole and really providing a lot of offense for you.
Well, I think, you know, it's not Jordan's nature necessarily to feel like he needs to be the one being assertive or take some of these shots that aren't a perfect 10 kind of thing. And once he's settled into that a little bit, he's done a really good job. He's having a great year.
Well, Kevin, great first half. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
All right, Tom, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Ryan. Kevin Vanderstreek and the Calvin fans here in numbers tonight. As many tickets as they can get, they use. And we're going to enjoy right now hearing a little bit more about tonight's visiting school, Calvin College.
Ever wonder why the prophets of the Bible wrote about how many ways human life had gone wrong? It's because they knew how many ways human life can go right. These prophets dreamed of a time when God would put things right again. Perhaps you do too. Christ calls us to make a difference on this earth. We need knowledge, skills, and attitudes that seek God and the goodness He intended. So, as a Christ-centered college, we learn what we can about creation itself. We learn the functions and beauty of numbers and sets of numbers. We study history and develop judgment. We learn through art to delight in sheer beauty. Because of this, we become equipped. Of course, we become equipped for jobs, but more importantly, we are equipped for callings and lives that aim to restore some part of the lost loveliness of God's world. Doing this work is not easy. It requires courage. Courage to fearlessly lean into the tension of the world. It's going from interested to invested, from curious to courageous, from possible to unstoppable. When fear is taken out of the equation, you're free to explore all that God calls you to. Write that chapter, hit that note, add that catalyst. It's time for you to walk boldly and to be equipped in Christ for the things that clean and clarify, that build and rebuild, that bring light and delight to the world. It's time to develop a confidence that will frustrate your fears. It's time to pursue your passions. It's time to imagine the world right again.
Today's game is underwritten in part by Holland Hospital Sports Medicine, your home team advantage. Lawrence and Vanderswart, it's good to have a plan. Macatawa Bank, we make decisions here because your business is here. Padnos, paper, plastics, metal, and more. West Coast Eye Care, see like you're in the front row.
All right, it's halftime here. A tight one at the DeVos Fieldhouse in Holland tonight on WGVU. I'm Tom Cleary, your host for the action here, along with Ryan Terpstra. Calvin 30, Hope 29 at the break. A couple of big scoring nights for either side. For Calvin, Jordan Daly with 15. And for Hope, Ben Gardner with 15. Cameron Denny, though, has been the secondary scorer for Calvin. He has 9. A lot of guys that you'd expect to be in the mix for Calvin. Guys like Welch and Parks have not scored from the floor yet. And Harrison Blackledge, who's had some big games in this series recently. No field goals, only 2 points in the first half for the Dutch. Calvin doing a pretty good job shooting the ball reasonably well early on, although the percentages suffered late. What's kept Hope in this ball game is the three-point ball. They've taken a lot of them, 15. They've made 6 to trail by 1 here at the intermission. But it's Calvin trying to get back to the 500 mark overall in the season. 8-9 coming in, 3-3 in the MIAA. And Greg Mitchell and Hope trying to keep pace with Alma. The Dutch have won 5 of their first 6, losing only at Alma. But they trail here tonight by a single point. We're still a ways out from the start of second half action. We'll take a break right now here. It's Calvin 30, Hope 29 tonight on WGVU.
Do you want to explore new worlds? Become a WGVU Explorer and join me, Michael Walenta, WGVU General Manager, on a trip to the magnificent cities of Central and Eastern Europe. This exciting 14-day tour departs Grand Rapids on September 18, 2016. View the full itinerary online at wgvu.org/explorers. For more information and to reserve your spot, call WGVU at 800-442-2771 or email explorers@wgvu.org.
Boy, with 4 seconds left in this contest, down by 3.
Fellas, that's a great effort to get back where we are. It looks like we got 4 seconds. We got to have a 3. It can't be a 2. We're down 3. And here's what we're going to do. Judge, you're going to make this and we'll win the game in overtime.
Have you ever heard a story that changed the way you saw the world?
I had witnessed the terrifying joy of unbearable responsibility.
We fight for identity, sometimes we kill for identity, but why is that?
I can't let my life be this, because if I give up right now, that's what my life will be.
I'm Guy Raz. Join me each week for inspiring stories on the TED Radio Hour from NPR.
Saturdays at noon on WGVU Public Radio, 88.5 Grand Rapids, 95.3 Muskegon.
Well, Calvin is coming off a very poor game this past Saturday, a blowout loss to Adrian, but the Knights have not looked like a team that's playing scared out here tonight. One of the reasons why is their senior leader, Jordan Daly, who had 15 in the first half. Daly's gotten it done in a variety of different ways. He's done the dirty work on the glass in the open court. This is maybe his most impressive move of the night. He went slashing past all 5 Hope players. A little bit later on, we saw Brock Benson trying to muscle up inside. He's been held to 4 points. Blackledge only 2. Daly, though, getting it done against taller players on that post-up move right there. We see Benson going right here, making a nice move against Cameron Denny to score inside. Calvin, though, has only had really serious contributions from 2 players, and it's been the Daly show, with Jordan scoring off the baseline pop right there. And we've talked about Ben Gardner. His late 3, keeping it close for his side, is the home side trailing by a point here at the intermission. It's Calvin 30, Hope 29. Rebounding in the first half, pretty even. 17 for the host, 19 for Calvin. We'll talk more about the numbers when we come back. It's Calvin and Hope basketball tonight on WGVU.
I think my favorite character in Sesame Street was probably Oscar the Grouch.
One of the gifts you could get for the membership drive was an Oscar the Grouch director's chair. It was Brad's director chair.
My kids have loved the chair. We were pretty adamant we didn't want to get rid of it, so we ended up recovering it. It's still in our house. It's still getting used by our kids. Hopefully maybe their kids will have it. My kids watch PBS a lot, probably more than I know. As a parent, knowing your kids are watching PBS means that they're watching something not only educational, but something that's safe, something that's wholesome, and they can kind of engage those shows on their own. And as a parent, you know that something good's going to come out of that.
My youngest daughter, Kylie, watched the PBS shows, and her teacher said she knows how to read. She can read any book I have in this classroom. And I said, Kylie, how did you learn to read? And she looked at me and she said, Sesame Street, Mom.
I think there definitely is a quality to PBS, and when we're sitting down watching it, my kids are learning something. Quite often it's facts and things that they'll even bring up later, whether it's in school or just, you're talking about a specific animal and they're spouting off facts that they happen to learn on Wildcrats.
One of the shows I watch with my grandchildren is Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood. And it gives me really great pleasure to remember Daniel on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I hope PBS continues that legacy with their shows so that my great-grandchildren will be watching PBS.
I think there's some importance in passing down that legacy of PBS, that it would be something that would just continue on for my kids, and their kids, and generations after that.
By recycling paper, plastics, metals, and more, Padness is making the world we live in a better one. Padness, recycling the world over and over.
Calvin on top here tonight at the DeVos Fieldhouse in Holland, Michigan, from the campus of Hope College. It's Division III basketball action this evening here on WGVU TV in West Michigan. I'm Tom Cleary along with Ryan Terpstra and the rest of our broadcast crew. We're happy to be here providing this to you wherever you may be viewing this one tonight. Let's go through the scoring. Talked about Calvin with Daly, 5 of 7 from the floor. He's made 5 of 6 free throws for 15. Cam Denny has taken a total of 6 threes, made half of them. 9 points for him. Tony Cannoni with 4. Carlos Amoros with 2 for Calvin. Those are the scores. On the other side, Gardner 5 of 8 and 4 of 5 of those field goal tries or 3-pointers. He has 15 for Ben. After that, it drops all the way down to Brock Benson with 4. Cody Stuyve with 3. Wittenbach had 3 on 1 3-point goal. 2 points rather surprisingly for Harrison Blackledge. 2 points for Keith Brushweiler. And the shooting under 40% now for both sides, and that's probably down to the fact that these two teams have been forced to settle in some circumstances for 3-point shots. Mentioned the rebounds. 2-point edge for Calvin there. Turnovers, Calvin hanging on to the ball pretty well. Only 6 turnovers in the first half, 8 for Hope. And the Knights leading here by the score of 30-29. Well, Kevin Vandestreek has just returned to the floor with his assistant coaches who are with him. A little bit earlier, we saw the coach getting after it. He was kind of quiet for a while, but when the effort began to sag just a little bit, Vandestreek jumping around a little bit. He's talking to his own guys right now, and there's a veteran coach for you right now. He's wearing a beautiful suit. He's got sneakers on right now. You don't want to put too much strain on those feet when you're working the sideline the way Coach Vandestreek does for Calvin. Ryan Terpstra is down on the floor. We have not yet seen the reemergence of the Hope team. We're going to grab a word with Greg Mitchell just as soon as he gets back out here. And as is often the case, the team that's on top gets out quickly. Their coaches just said, well, keep doing what you're doing. And for Hope, they've got to be a little bit disappointed to be down at halftime against their traditional rivals. Calvin and Hope playing here tonight. Crowd in excess, I think, of 4,000. In fact, there are more people here in the arena tonight than either of these two schools has enrolled. And here now finally Hope coming back, and Greg Mitchell just getting out of the locker room right now, and he is, well, I thought I saw him, but I guess I didn't see him. Maybe he forgot about his responsibilities. So Ryan's going to hang in there for a couple of more moments. But Calvin doing pretty well today. They controlled the first half for the most part. Hope made a run and retook the lead late in the period, but then Daly kept busy, and now Greg Mitchell is down there right now with our Ryan Terpstra. So let's go down right now with Terp and find out what the coach of the Flying Dutch has to say. Ryan.
Hey, thanks, Tom. Coach Mitchell, you guys had to talk. Started a little slow in the first half, came back. What are your feelings going into the second half right now?
Well, I mean, 2 things. Defensively, we've got to just play with more energy, more conviction. Our run was predicated on that end of the floor. I got to get out on Danny. He's feeling it. We got to do a better job of closing out higher on him. And then offensively, we just got to trust each other. We got to move the ball better, space the floor, and share it. I mean, we're good when we're sharing the basketball. We're bad when we're isolating ourselves with the dribble. So hopefully we make those adjustments.
You talk about Ben Gardner's play. He really showed a lot of effort in that first half.
Yeah, Ben had a great half, shot the ball well, working hard at the defensive end. We're going to get more guys involved, more guys engaged, and do a heck of a job keeping them off the glass.
Coach, good luck in the second half. Thank you.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Tom, back to you.
Ryan, thank you, and thank you, Greg Mitchell from Hope College, for those words here. Seconds ticking away, both sides probably feeling confident about their chances. Hope doesn't lose very often at home. However, they've lost the last 4 in this series, and included in that quartet of Calvin wins were 2 victories by the Knights right here at the DeVos Fieldhouse. So it is a very difficult place for most teams to play. The one team that's had some success down through the years has been Calvin. And part of the reason why is their fans value the opportunity to come here. They're making some noise tonight, supporting the team, and so far the team is rewarding them for their efforts. Calvin will come out with Cannoni, Parks, Daly, Denny, and the 5th man out on the floor right now will be Michael Wilkes, and haven't quite seen yet what kind of lineup Greg Mitchell's coming with, but I imagine it would be the starting five, and it is Benson, Blackledge, Carlson, Gardner, and a guy who kind of faded from the scene a little bit, Dante Hawkins, Ryan Terpstra, who did not score in the first half and wasn't in there very long.
Yeah, they really went more to their bench and maybe more to their experienced players since Hawkins is a sophomore, but he's going to get another chance here to start the second half.
Kind of interesting. Daly is guarding Gardner. They both have 15, almost as if there's a little gentleman's agreement, depending on who has the ball there. They have canceled each other out, and there's Hawkins. Didn't wait very long for his first bucket of this half.
Sometimes a young player might get challenged in the locker room to step his game up, especially in a rivalry game like this, and Hawkins coming out hot out of that locker room to start the second half.
Michael Wilkes goes around Benson. Boy, he played for contact again and took his eye off the rim. Should have been an easy
Second
bucket.
missed layup from Michael, just a tough shot, and I think the first one was unlucky, but that one he missed himself.
There's a great effort down on the baseline. I think that was Wilkes down there who contorted and twisted his body trying to keep that ball back in play, and he ended up with the phone number of a cheerleader, I think. You never know. It's happened before.
We've seen those cross-college marriages.
Carlson for three. And suddenly it's the quick burst. First 5 points of the second half belong to the backcourt of Hope. 34-30 home side.
Now, Greg Mitchell came out not looking very happy from the locker room, but has to be feeling pretty good about the way his team has responded so far in these opening 2 minutes.
Cam Denny's way outside against Blackledge. He's got to get to the basket if he can. Parks for three on the way. Short, rebounded by who else? Daly blocked his shot. Cannoni now steps inside the arc, and then Ben Gardner threw somebody down, and it was Jordan Daly. We talked about it earlier, Terp. Is the toll of guarding Jordan Daly going to get to Ben Gardner here in the second half?
I think Gardner said, this is about the only way I can keep this guy off the offensive boards right now. Had to throw Daly to the ground, or it might have been another layup.
Denny for three. That ball comes all the way out of bounds. Touch last by Calvin. And Denny tapping himself in the chest as if to say, upon further review, that's a shot I probably shouldn't have taken.
We're getting those extra possessions. Calvin knows they have to make them count, especially with nobody really shooting the ball well outside of Jordan Daly.
Benson now beyond the arc. Daly trying to body up. Gardner couldn't get rid of Daly. Still trying. What do we have here?
And it's Parks just putting his shoulder out a little bit, trying to slow Gardner down. There was contact. The officials called it. It's not very smart from Parks because you don't want to rack up those team fouls early on.
You know, Parks was the third guard behind Brink and Daly 2 years ago for most of the season when they put him in the lineup. As we see a Ben Gardner three, Kevin Vanderstreet's going to get a timeout. That's when Calvin really started to get it going. And now Calvin wants a TO, and they'll get one. Just 2 minutes in, it's been an 8-point run for Hope. And they're going to make this a full timeout. We'll take a break and come back with more after this.
Support by Freedom Village, a retirement community located in Holland, Michigan. Freedom Village is all about location. We are less than 3 blocks from historical downtown Holland and Hope College. Our city under roof offers an all-inclusive lifestyle for active seniors. We have an indoor swimming pool, hot tub, and gymnasium. We offer chef-prepared menus in our 5 dining rooms, a general store, full-service bank, and beauty salon. Our life care contract offers you long-term protection for all levels of care under one roof.
By recycling paper, plastics, metals, and more, Padness is making the world we live in a better one. Padness, recycling the world over and over.
Support for WGBU Public Media is provided by Macatawa Bank. We make decisions here because your business is here. More information is available at macatawabank.com.
All right, we are back to it right now. Kelvin, after giving up the first 8 points of the half, trailing now by the score of 37-30. They'll come back with Parks and Wilkes, Daly, Cannoni, Denny. No changes lineup-wise for Calvin. So somebody's going to have to score the ball, though, for Calvin. Maybe this guy, but then he loses it. Daly, Gardner with Hawkins. Daly's late getting up. Numbers for Hope. Hawkins, that's a good feed. That's going to be a foul as Blackledge got bumped. Kevin Vanderstreek looking right at Daly, and he said, hey, you didn't get back up and into the play, and Hope kept moving the ball, Ryan Terpstra, until they found the open man.
It was great defense by Hope, Tom. They swarmed Jordan Daly, trying to make him either pass the ball or pick it up. He tried to dribble through. They stripped him, and then Hawkins, instead of taking an outside shot, took one more bounce and then passed to Blackledge. It was going to be a layup or a foul, and Hope really looking strong right now on the offensive end.
Well, it's been about, in the last 10 minutes of this contest, Ryan, Hope has scored one goal. They've had some points at the free throw line, but one basket. They've had very few goals by anybody tonight, not named Daly.
Yeah, Calvin really struggling trying to find that offensive touch. They've had open looks, haven't been able to convert them, and all of a sudden you're seeing the talent of this Hope squad no longer digging out of a hole. They're trying to put Calvin in a hole, and Calvin, firepower-wise, needs to find somebody to help them get their way back from behind.
10 points to start the second half for Hope. This is Mike Siegel. Daly. Calvin's got to get to the basket. They do. Daly forces it up, can't find it. Daly's going to chase it down. It's a putback by Cam Denny, who finally set up his tent inside, got a basket for it. This is Hawkins now against Cannoni. Blackledge. Gardner. That's a tough shot for Gardner. Not the best attempt there, and Blackledge got popped in the chops. He's lucky he didn't get a foul call on the original play. Got very physical down there.
Yeah, I don't think Hope needed or really wanted that shot by Gardner. They've been doing so well trying to attack the basket. Pulling up from three there. I know he's been very hot from three, and I think they could have found a better opportunity.
Absolutely. Here's Parks on the dribble now. Siegel. Siegel got by Benson. Siegel left hands it. Denny got bumped.
Calvin's bigs just have to make a layup, Tom. That's 6 points they've left off the board.
And Dante Hawkins cracks Tony Cannoni. Well, you're absolutely right. That's another one that just kind of an unforgivable miss. And I'm not saying the young guy shouldn't have gone with the left hand, but it is so hard to get that kind of a look inside in a game with this much intensity. Calvin's missed some great opportunities in the paint. Denny wants to crank that triple again.
He wants it so bad.
Oh, goodness.
Vanderstreek didn't even bat an eye. I thought he would have been out of his seat faster than the student section was, but he made it. And when you make them, it's hard to argue.
This is Blackledge who threw the foul. What he does here is we take a look at that last basket by Denny. He got his body into Harrison Blackledge. Watch him here in the last go-round. And he kind of got him backing off a little bit. Maybe he shoved him a little bit with the right hand before he got it under the ball for the shot. But he did relieve a little bit of the pressure. But that's an impossibly hard shot to be taking. Everybody thinks there's a timeout because the ball went out of bounds at the 16-minute mark, but there was previously a timeout. And
the perils of broadcasting
I have
basketball.
no idea. Kelvin asked about this very thing, and the referees explained it. This will wipe out the first media timeout.
Yeah.
And the referees are absolutely right, and the coaching staffs are, well, they don't have TV timeouts all that often.
They're getting a chance to talk to everybody.
We
got things set.
Yep. Back on the court we come. That ball bounced off the foot of Blackledge. Not a kick. Gardner forced up a terrible shot. That's a pretty ticky-tack foul going against Calvin. And they're going to call it, I believe, on Mike Siegel. Now, if they're going to call a block, that's one thing. Gardner was clearly out of control there, though, and was playing for the foul.
That's a tough call. He was definitely trying to draw contact. Siegel just happened to be in the wrong place, which was in the way of Gardner, who threw up the shot. Got the opportunity now to get some free points at the free throw line.
Back to a 5-point lead for Hope. Both those free throws look very nice out of the hand of Ben Gardner. He now has a total of 19 in the ball game. 41-35. Calvin's got to find a way to unlock this interior defense. Nobody's really been able to do it much. Daly and one, and that time Ben Gardner turned his back and got caught.
What a pass by Cam Denny. He saw Daly go, and then Daly goes right up with it, does not even readjust his body. Tough angle, score and the foul. That is a pretty play, Tom.
Jordan Daly now with 17, can add it, and more importantly, Terp, that's the third foul against Ben Gardner, who's been the offensive cog in this Hope College machine tonight.
And Greg Mitchell has tasked Gardner with trying to stop Jordan Daly. Right now, nobody's been able to really do that, but getting your third foul is definitely something to monitor, just in case Gardner were to pick up a charge or something like that later on. You have to wonder if Mitchell now will consider making a defensive switch.
Well, he's got Sam Otto on, but no matter who they put on Daly right now, it's going to be a bad matchup for Hope. Great work there inside as Sam Otto got tripled and had it swatted away. This is Amoros inside, missed a layup. Daly again. And a rebound for Sam Otto.
Now, Amoros missed the layup. Daly's was rejected. Well, it wasn't rejected, but it was altered by Benson, who got a couple of fingers on it. That's why his did not go down. But Calvin, another bunny opportunity going by the wayside, Tom.
Amoros wasn't really ready to shoot the ball and really didn't want to shoot the ball, and found himself with it 2 feet from the basket. That's a force by Blackledge. Good defense by Calvin.
Hope going away from what was so successful for them to start this half, just kind of trying to draw fouls, and it's just not working right now.
That was a walk, no doubt about it, on Mike Siegel. We're going to get Wilkes back into the contest, and we'll get Keith Brushweiler back on. Blackledge, I think, is the guy who's going to sit for a while. I don't really know what Greg Mitchell is thinking about with Daly. He's probably thinking under the best of circumstances he's tough to stop, and now the guy who's been on him most of the night has 3 fouls. So this is the big opportunity right now for Calvin.
Calvin weathered the storm. Hope came out on fire. Now some questionable shot selection, and Calvin being able to hit a 3 and then get a 3-point play has put them right back into this.
Benson trying to bump on Denny. Denny held his ground nicely. That's a contested 3 for Carlson, the little man.
Jack Carlson coming up in big spots. He's obviously the shortest player on the court. He has no qualms about jacking it up, even with someone in his face, and he just tends to hit big shots. He did it his whole high school career at Rockford, and he's doing it again here at Hope.
I think if you're playing basketball, as Cannoni tries to light it up from the outside, you've got to let your post players play one-on-one defense. This is Hawkins. No. Rebounded inside to Brushweiler. I don't think it's in today's game, Herb. You leave a guy who's parked out beyond the arc, you're asking for trouble. And that's what Calvin got burned on there. They were close. Now they're down by 8 again. Amoros to Denny. Denny thought about it. He wouldn't do it again, would he? He's going to take it to the hole. And that's, again, it's a tough shot, but it's one that Denny was capable of finishing. Just got kind of shoved off a little bit. He'll shoot 2.
Well, he recognized he had Brushweiler on him, and Brushweiler is a load physically. Very strong, but Denny a little bit faster when it turned, a little bit quicker anyway, Tom, and recognized that Brushweiler was not going to let him throw up another 3-pointer. Smartly took it to the hole and drew the contact.
Calvin gets Nate Drews into the ball game right now. Cannoni is out. Second one will not go. It's a Calvin rebound, a putback attempt for Daly. Not the first time. Daly the second time draws the 2-shot foul.
I think you can forgive Jordan Daly for missing that layup because he's made so many other shots. And another big offensive rebound for him. Daly's 6'3". I don't know if people realize that. Benson's 6'8". Brushweiler's 6'7". Daly is outworking both of them on the offensive glass.
Well, what you like about Daly is he is so willing to pay the price physically against bigger guys. He's not backed off at all, and he's just really shown a lot in his ability to go inside against bigger, taller people.
Well, he's got good timing, Tom, and I think as any Piston fan who watched Dennis Rodman play back in the day, it's all about position and timing. And he's got good bounce off the floor. He gets up there and grabs that ball, and he's been really, really impressive right now for Calvin just in that role.
You look at Jordan Daly in a basketball uniform, and he looks like he's a guy who could play any sport. You know, he's suited for just about anything. Strong and fast. This is Benson inside. Be a two-shot foul. Greg Mitchell nodding his head yes there, like, yeah, I like Benson when he's trying that. I thought maybe he could have finished it without the dunk, but it's the player's judgment there. He's thought he was home free and then got cracked.
You always like when your big man's aggressive, and Benson can be a little mild-mannered sometimes, I think, on the offensive end. They're showing a lot of fire, attacking the rim, and they just wanted a good shot. Hope did. They have been not getting good shots close to the basket, and that time Benson was able to get a good opportunity and draw the foul.
The senior from Willowbrook, Illinois, makes both free throws pretty easily. Looked very comfortable. Nice ball inside. Daly's foul again. It was a good return pass that came, I believe, from Michael Wilkes to the cutting Daly. Let's see it again here.
Here's one note to watch, Tom. Right now, with 13 minutes to go in this game, Hope's already got 16 fouls. So Calvin's going to be in the bonus, and if I remember correctly, Daly's drawn at least 3, if not 4, of those team fouls.
The last one goes against Sam Otto. Daly's got it down, so effectively Calvin now in the bonus for the remainder of the contest. There's still just about 13 minutes left. I think Daly's going to get a break. And Daly was kind of grinning like, what are you trying to do when I'm shooting free throws?
I think Tony Canoni didn't quite remember who he was checking in for, and then took a step on the court and realized that it was going to be Jordan Daly.
Now Daly, who just continues to shine, 22 on the night to lead the scoring. 5-point Calvin deficit as Carlson plays in the backcourt with Gardner. Otto is out there. Brushweiler and the sophomore Dante Hawkins. So again, smallish lineup, but with Daly out, Gardner comes back on.
And Mitchell, putting Gardner back out there not only because he no longer has to guard Jordan Daly, but hoping that maybe Hope can get a little offense right now with Daly on the bench.
Oh, that's a tough ball inside, and Calvin goes after it like piranha. They get the tie up, and it's going to be Hope basketball.
I thought maybe Brushweiler traveled there because he sat up with the ball, and I thought maybe he moved it, but the officials deem it otherwise. Calvin ends up with it anyway on the change of possession.
I was a little quick on the call there. It is Calvin basketball. I was looking for the arrow. Calvin's got it. This is Amoros who's in there right now against Hawkins.
Hawkins really bothering him. I'm wondering if he could cause a turnover coming up here soon.
Calvin doesn't have Daly or Denny in there right now. This is Nate Drew's shot clock running down. Calvin's going to have to hurry to get it up. Amoros for 3. Drew iron. He got that part right.
But I think Amoros was listening to the Dew Crew, Tom, and their countdown wasn't quite accurate and in line with the shot clock.
That is a great, powerful move by Sam Otto.
Sam Otto was the MIAA Player of the Week earlier this year. He has had some big games for Hope. First bucket there, but he's definitely somebody that can hurt you when given the opportunity.
Another Chicago area player playing for the Flying Dutch. Little short corner jumper goes. That's Michael Welch, and that's been a long time coming.
And that's a sigh of relief for Calvin, because right now with Daly and Denny on the bench, you're wondering who's going to shoot, Tom. And to get a pull-up jumper and get 2 points right there is really a bonus.
Daly is at the table. He's going to come back on with Parks. That was a loose ball there that Gardner did well to collect. Otto feeling it, not this time. Long board, though, came out to Dante Hawkins. Hawkins goes lefty, no. And Michael Welch steps in for his second big possession. A bucket and a board. Down to the 11-minute mark here. Wilkes has got it back going on Otto. Probably should have taken it. Amoros, better look this time, but just not there. The outside three-point shooting from the smaller people has not been there at all for Calvin in this game.
Yeah, better look there for Amoros, just couldn't hit it. Thought Calvin had an opportunity for the rebound, but Gardner was able to hold on despite getting hit. And I thought the ball was about to start to come loose, but he was able to control it.
Hawkins trying to go all the way down, forced it lefty, got bodied off. Referees looked at it and said no. And here comes Calvin on the move with numbers, at least momentarily. Triple try, forced up and in. And it's Nate Drews with the quick release there. Calvin within 2.
Carlson closed out just fine on him. In fact, I didn't think Drews was open at all. Definitely a force, and he knocks it down. And you can see by the reaction of the Calvin bench, that's a big shot for them.
Oh, and then Hope throws it away. Let's see what Calvin does here. That's a reach in by Hawkins. The wrong guy had the ball. Wilkes. Calvin got out of their comfort zone. Gardner. This is going to come all the way out to Chad Carlson. Both teams have gone a little bit insane here in the last 30 seconds.
It's been ragtag up and down. And Greg Mitchell, he recognizes it, Tom. He needs to take a timeout and settle things a little bit with his team that built a lead early on in the half, gave it up, reclaimed it, pushed the advantage to 8, and now once again a 2-point game while Calvin's 2 best players have been sitting on the bench.
Greg Mitchell's going to call a play here. This is just a 30, but he really uses his timeout to get some new people into the game. And interestingly enough, along with Benson and Blackledge, we'll get our first look of the night at Mitchell O'Brien, the junior from Manteno, Illinois. A guy who has not yet been in. That's always a tough one. You've been watching for 30 minutes. Now you're in at crunch time.
We'll see under 10 minutes. Very important part of the ball game, and O'Brien's coming in. It would be my guess, Tom, that they might have O'Brien check Jordan Daly, who also rechecked back into the ball game.
Let's take a look at what we have just been seeing here. This is Calvin a little while ago. This is Drews, who has a reputation as being a stationary outside shooter, but he put it on the deck, one dribble, and then right up. And there you see that triple that he hit that got Calvin to within 2. So the young man making his presence felt. He's a junior from Rochester Hills, just outside Detroit. Here's Carlson. Interesting to see what O'Brien does here at the offensive end. Will the ball chase the new guy just into the game? He's matched up with Cannoni, Otto, Carlson. Parks is right on him. Benson with the clock running down, looking to spin. Calvin played him tough, but Benson got the roll.
Yeah, just a good move by Benson. Cannot stop that. At least nobody on Calvin's side can stop that type of shot.
Calvin played it pretty well there. They cut him off, turned him back to the middle. They had 2 guys there. It didn't go for the shot block, but Benson put it down. Cannoni. Daly trying to get free. That's got to be a catch there for Michael Welch. He let it slip through his fingers.
Yeah, he's got to look to receive the ball in that instance. Sometimes Calvin's bigs, I think, get caught up. I got to set a screen. I got to rebound the ball. You got to be ready to catch a pass, too.
Carlson. Back pass. O'Brien. Double pump. Too much on it. Got himself free. Came under the rim. Here's Parks looking to go. Parks driving. Threw it up and drew the foul from Benson.
Hope cannot be happy about that. I thought Benson went straight up and Parks initiated the contact. Calvin lucky to get that call.
Okay, we'll take a break right now. We'll see some free throws when we come back. Hope by 4 with 8:39 to go on WGVU.
With 4 seconds left in this contest, down by 3.
Fellas, that's a great effort to get back where we are. It looks like we got 4 seconds. We got to have a 3. It can't be a 2. We're down 3. And here's what we're going to do. Judge, you're going to make this and we'll win the game in overtime.
Holland Hospital Sports Medicine provides non-surgical and surgical care for team athletes and weekend warriors alike. Their team approach offers comprehensive diagnosis, expert treatment, and personalized rehabilitation for sports-related injuries. For more information, hollandhospital.org/sportsmed.
At Gentex Corporation, we are currently hiring new team members and offer a wide range of benefits, including quarterly profit sharing, tuition reimbursement, and in-company promotions. Learn more at gentex.com. Gentex, a smarter vision.
At Hope, it's about life-changing experiences. Hope. Live it.
Talked about Calvin's need to find some outside scoring from the perimeter, and there's a candidate right there, Nate Drews. He's the only guy besides Denny to get one down from out there tonight. And here's a guy that usually is a three-point shooter. Austin Parks, scoreless on the night, at the line to shoot one and the bonus. Actually, a two-shot foul. Boy, and Austin Parks is just going through a horrific stretch of tough shooting luck.
You think that here's your opportunity to kind of break it up at the free throw line. You practice it day after day, and sometimes if you're just not feeling it from the field, Tom, doesn't matter where you get to shoot it from, you just can't find a way to get it to go down.
He splits the pair, 3-point lead for Hope. Wittenbach is in. Oh, Daly. He had Sam Otto set up there.
He had that, and he had daylight, and I was going to see, is he going to throw it down in the open court, but just not quite there.
Just got it on his fingertips. Needed to get it in the palm of his hand. Hope has it back. Otto head of the key. Interestingly, O'Brien stays in after the timeout. We'll see if the ball chases the reluctant shooter. This is Sam Otto. Shot clock running down. Carlson, that's a shot clock violation. Did what he had to do, but Calvin plays some D, and now they have an opportunity here to get a little closer, perhaps tie. Ben Garner's going to check back in as we go down inside of 8 minutes left in this contest. Cannoni takes over at the point, looking to go on Carlson. Daly lost it. This is a breakout. Look out, Sam Otto. Oh, my goodness. What a get back there by Michael Welch. That's a hell call. No, they're going to call a foul.
Oh, my goodness.
Goodness gracious.
I did not hear the whistle. I thought they were going to let it be a jump ball because the ball got stuck in the rim, Tom, but no, it ends up being a foul.
Well, you be the judge. I thought Welch made a sensational play. Boy, if there's a foul there, hard to find. We'll take a break. More to come.
At the Community Foundation, we build our community's endowment to ensure that the Holland Zeeland area always has the resources necessary to respond to future needs and opportunities. Join us to make a difference today, tomorrow, and forever.
Support by Freedom Village, a retirement community located in Holland, offering an all-inclusive lifestyle for active seniors with an indoor hot tub, pool, and gymnasium, and chef-prepared menus in 5 dining rooms. 616-820-7480.
So last interim, a couple of friends and I decided to go to Honduras to serve in the hospitals there. I had never had that experience where the need was so great compared to the number of people, and then I was actually doing something. And I think it was in Honduras where I decided that being, a healthcare worker in the community was my vocation. It was where the passion I had for helping people intersected with the need I saw in the world.
We'd like to take a moment to recognize the efforts of our friends at WZZM TV who assist us in some technical aspects of our broadcast. Our thanks to them. And while we're talking about that, Terp, I want to also mention that this is the first game that I've ever done, Hope Calvin game, and we haven't had around a great friend of mine who passed away just before Christmas. Claire Fleetster, a longtime television executive from WZZM, whose son Craig has been our able statistical assistant for a long time. His dad passed away just before Christmas. Great guy that I knew from my early days of television, and we'll miss him. Free throws go, 54-49. Cannoni out there with Parks. Oh, Cannoni almost walked. He threw it to Sam Otto, who got hit in the chops by Daly. No call.
Yeah, and I think Cannoni's going to come out of the ball game. He threw a bad pass trying to get it to Jordan Daly last possession, and there he thought he was going to throw it, thought better of it, and ended up almost traveling and turned it over anyway.
How about that little lefty move by Brushweiler?
Oh, and they're going to get Daly boxing out Otto. They're going to call, and then here's an opportunity for Hope for possibly adding some more points on top of that possession.
Well, Kevin Vanderstreek doesn't like it. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Well, that's a low bridge by Daly, who said he didn't really intend to do it, but unfortunately, intent doesn't get you much in this contest. Chance for a 5-point play now. Otto, or I should say a 4-point play. And that is a turning point right there, because Brushweiler came sweeping across the lane, made a very nice shot lefty. And now Otto has a chance to tack on 2 more at the line. He gets 1, but it's a rebound by Brushweiler. And it gets even worse for Calvin, trailing now by 8.
Brushweiler's been giving Hope some great minutes. In a couple of problems trying to deal with Daly on the defensive end, but he's been rebounding well and really providing a physical presence for the Dutchman, Tom, and they've needed his efforts tonight.
Gardner with Daly. Blackledge barely catches up to this one. Boy, nice effort done by the big guys inside. It's a great bucket by Blackledge. Can't fault Michael Wilkes there. He was all over him. Didn't want to take a foul, but suddenly Calvin is down 10, and the time is sliding through the hourglass. Here's Daly with Otto. Daly got him up in the air. He's not stopping until he gets there, and he knows what to do with it when he gets there.
Yeah, I think that's a mistake by Sam Otto. You want Daly to pull up and shoot that shot. He bit on the shot fake, and Daly got exactly where he wanted to go, and that was to the basket.
Kelvin's got to get some stops to climb back in. Gardner almost had a look for 3. Denny, nice work against Blackledge. Huge scramble for the ball. It's Otto. Carlson open now. And Calvin gets a little bit of a break that time.
That would have brought the house down. Where Calvin was getting all the loose balls in the first half, Tom, that's where Hope's been, but what a shot by Wilkes, who kind of out of nowhere guns for 3.
Yeah, it hadn't even had a sniff of a 3-pointer tonight, and no hesitation whatsoever. Otto looking to go. Otto fires and scores. He got mismatched with Nate Drews and took advantage of his smaller opponent. Kevin Vanestreek's having some words for Wilkes, saying, you got to stay with the big guy. Denny has really got to collect himself here against Blackledge. I like his move here, going to the basket, forced it up, couldn't find it. Blackledge pulled it away from Daly. Daly's got to get up off the deck. Gardner ran right into the defender, a lead pipe cinch charge right there. Yeah. And Larry Martin didn't even bat an eye, just said, I
think Wilkes double-checked his feet.
He did.
Because he took a similar charge from Gardner at the end of the first half. He made sure he was there this time, and he took all of that one, even banged his head against the floor. And he's going to come out of the ball game. Hopefully they check him a little bit, because that is definitely a way that you can get a concussion. And the Hope fans don't like it, but from our replay, that looked pretty cut and dry.
7-point lead for Hope, though. They're playing well. Otto's been a spark. Also, Brushweiler. It's taken Greg Mitchell a while to find the 5 that he wanted, but he's got him in there right now. This is a triple try for Calvin. It's way short. Brushweiler pulls it down after the Mike Siegel miss.
Daly.
Carlson. Daly's out there with Hawkins right now. A little easier assignment for him. Carlson corralled that one. Blackledge. Can Calvin get it? It's Brushweiler again. Great work. And then a takeaway by Calvin. Well, Sam Otto forced the issue. Greg Mitchell saying, boy, we had a fresh 30. We threw it away about 2 seconds into the clock.
Yeah, and Brushweiler doing some great things, but Hope was much better served to bring that back out and try and use some time.
Cam Denny, a little bit of a push-off. Calvin looking to go inside here. All sorts of problems. Cam Denny's got that kind of range, and he washes it down.
Just when you think, nah, he's a little too far this time. Nope, he is well within range. Cam Denny gunning from all over the court.
He stepped into that shot just a touch, which I thought might make the difference, and it did. He got a rhythm. He just pulled the trigger at the right time. Carlson now. Greg Mitchell wants his team to move the ball. That's a block. A nice bit of work there. Carlson to Hawkins, and then to Brushweiler, who's going to shoot 2 when we come back. 3:58 left in the contest. Still a good ball game. It's Hope by 4 on WGVU.
Cunningham Dahlman PC, attorneys at law, proud sponsor of Hope vs. Calvin basketball on WGVU TV. Cunningham Dahlman PC, accessible, responsive, effective. More information at holland-law.com.
At Hope, it's mind, body, and spirit. Hope. We live for this.
West Coast Eye Care of Holland is a proud sponsor of WGVU. Dr. Kate Mulder and staff invite you to see like you're in the front row. For more, 616-395-2020.
Hi, I'm Paula Kerger. Friday nights on PBS is a celebration of the arts where the stars come out on America's largest stage. Your home for the arts every Friday night is right here on WGVU.
Let's take a look first of all at the Hope end, Terp.
Yeah, Harrison Blackledge just doing work inside. Said, I'm really sick of trying to draw a foul, not getting called. Takes it himself, and then Denny, from that angle, you can't tell it was 35, 40 feet away, but it certainly felt like it when he gunned it. And
from that floor camera with Cam Denny, it looks like a meteor coming back down into the Earth's atmosphere. But it's right now a guy who's been an underrated performer here tonight, Keith Brushweiler, for Hope.
Yeah, he's not leading the team in scoring or any really major category right now, Tom, but the effort has really been there for Brushweiler, and he has made some big plays in some big spots.
He's gotten in the way at the defensive end. He's gotten a couple of big offensive rebounds. He splits the pair there, and if you're a Calvin fan, there is still hope in this one as Parks comes across the timeline.
Calvin not going away. Down by 10, you thought maybe Hope would have the knockout punch. Calvin refusing to wilt.
Denny against Blackledge just took him down.
Oh, no. He tried to dunk it.
That's a bad mistake.
He wanted to dunk it, and he did not get high enough.
He's looking at his hand, but he could have laid it in. There's just nothing you can say about that one. Bad judgment at a critical stage for a guy who's had an outstanding game for Calvin.
Well, set up perfectly because Blackledge was not going to allow another three. Denny just wide open, and that's a big mistake.
Boy, what a great bucket that is by Hawkins, who left hands it up over the taller Daly to make it 64-57.
You know, it's got to be hard to defend against Hope, Tom, because they have so many left-handed players.
Daly, not really the kind of thing you'd expect from Jordan. They need him going to the bucket, get some untimed points at the free throw line. And now as we go inside, 3 minutes remaining, Hope could just about finish it off here with a couple of more goals. Here's Blackledge trying to go on Denny. Left hands it up and in.
That's a good move. Blackledge not one of the left-handed players. Those are the other four guys on the court. But that's a big bucket. We talked about Harrison to start this game in our preview, Tom. He was going to be a key, and he had a quiet first half, but really coming up big now in these closing moments for Hope.
Yeah, I got to give Blackledge a lot of credit. It really wasn't his kind of game in the first half, but he didn't lose heart, and he's been effective since then. Been one of the leading rebounders here tonight for his side with a half dozen.
Well, Greg Mitchell survived with Ben Gardner on the bench because of this. Harrison Blackledge, we saw coming out of the timeout, his bucket, and that's just a great post move. And some guys have trouble with that baby hook with the offhand, but getting that shot to go in this spot, I mean, Harrison's really stepped up for them so far, and you're going to see them stick with this lineup. And it's guys that, you know, aren't normal starters. Otto and then also Brushweiler, but they've given the best minutes so far in this second half for Hope.
And they still have Benson in reserve in case they need him. Denny's thinking about the three-point try. Somebody's going to have to let it go for Calvin. This is a possibility. Parks had it slipped away, kept possession. That's knocked out of bounds by Hawkins. Calvin's got a three-point shooter, and Nate Drew's in there right now.
Yeah, but who can create their own shot right now?
Well, it's either Daly, I would think, or possibly Parks on the dribble, but Parks is not playing with a lot of confidence because of his recent shooting slump. Let's see if he tries to go here on Carlson. Denny, that is a bad force right there. Just no chance. Yeah. Calvin got it back. Now a flip there for three. Hurried by Nate Drews, and a rebound for Keith Brushweiler. We're inside of 2 minutes remaining, and it's almost all over but the digging, and Greg Mitchell will take a timeout right now to get Benson back in the ballgame and Gardner.
Calvin knows that time's winding down, but it's not winding down that far where you're Denny and you need to heave ho in that instance. And then Drews actually gets him a free possession, but he fires away like the shot clock's winding down. And you just... you do need more possessions to get back in this ballgame, but if you're going to take shots like that, it doesn't really matter. And Greg Mitchell smartly realizes, okay, here's our chance to deliver that knockout blow, and I'm going to get my starters back into the ballgame.
So we are down to the final 2 minutes left in this one. In some respects, kind of an encouraging game for Vanderstreek and company. Turp. They've played pretty well here tonight. They've done a lot of things. They haven't been afraid. They haven't backed off. They've not had the greatest second half, but they would seem like a team that's going to challenge for an MIAA playoff spot if they can keep playing like the way they've played most of the night.
Well, they certainly were in position to win this ball game. They had a chance down the stretch, and we've seen crazier things happen, but with 2 minutes to go, it's going to be a pretty tough road to hoe. Meanwhile, Hope has gotten some big contributions from some guys that they really maybe weren't expecting coming into this game. Brushweiler, a junior. We just saw that replay from Dante Hawkins, who's a sophomore. It's been a good second half for some of the role players for Hope, and then Harrison Blackledge, as we pointed out as well, really having a strong, I would say, final 8 minutes of this ball game.
Well, 20 on the shot clock. This will probably be the last full possession for Hope here tonight because Calvin's going to have to start fouling sooner rather than later. Hawkins tries to go on Parks. Parks stands in against Blackledge, but Blackledge is able to slice by him
Great
with a bucket
move
to make it 68-57.
Yeah, Parks tried to take the charge, but he was in position, and Blackledge just sliding by. Good body control, and that gets him the bucket instead of the turnover.
Parks thinking about the three.
Calvin just wants to throw something up here.
Well, Hope is just going to guard the perimeter, which is as it should be. 2-point baskets will do Calvin no good.
But this isn't going to do them any good taking 30 seconds either.
Well, they get a shot off. Benson has committed his fourth foul, I believe.
Wilkes realized they're not going to let me shoot from outside, so I better take it to the hole. They almost got an opportunity for a three-point play.
Actually, it's the fifth foul on Benson, so he's done. It's not likely to make a difference with 71 seconds remaining.
So Hope's going to take their time with this one. Looks like Carlson's going to be making the entrance into the ball game to replace Benson. And Greg Mitchell just wants to go small. He wants guys that are good free throw shooters, strong handlers of the ball. He knows what's coming, and that's Calvin having to foul.
Free throw goes there for this young man, Michael Wilkes. So Calvin moving forward's got to find a way to get a little bit more offense out of the backcourt. Daly's fine, but Parks and Canoni, 1 for 10 from the field. Two starting players with only 5 points. And more than scoring, Terp, I think they've got to be more of a threat. They've got to be respected out there. And
yeah, Hope really laid off of them and attacked Daly, especially in the second half. I think they thought they could maybe handle him a little better than they did in the first 20 minutes. And they said, look, we'll let these other guys beat us. We are not going to allow Daly to get the kind of looks that he got.
Entering the lineup for the Knights, number 24, Nate Drews.
Free throw is missed, and Calvin's got a rebound, and here they come with Michael Welch looking for somebody to give it to, and he got it to Parks, who fires for three, missed it wild right, and now it's just Calvin with not much of a chance to do anything. Gardner goes inside and scores to make it 70-59. Calvin's going to try to run it up, but it's going to be too little too late. Carlson reached in and fouled the Calvin player, Michael Wilkes, and we'll get some free throws, and Cannoni's going to come back in.
Well, it's all over but the fat lady, Tom, unfortunately. And it looks like Calvin, the coaching staff, is not even calling for them to foul. They just want them to try and steal the basketball. We'll see if anything changes, though, after these free throws.
Well, so often in college basketball, it seems like one team will come up blazing at the start of a half. It was Hope tonight, down by 1 at the intermission. Came up with 10 points in about 2 minutes, and then really has been in control pretty much ever since. Blackledge is bumped on the sideline there by Michael Wilkes, and we're going to get a parade of free throws. We're going to get a lot of people getting rich at the stripe here in the final 60 seconds of this one. Blackledge is into double figures now with 10 points on the night, 6 rebounds. Brushweiler has 7 rebounds to lead Hope, and Brock Benson also had 6. And Jordan Daly, how about that game that he's had tonight? 24 points, 10 rebounds. One-man wrecking ball, but just couldn't take on quite enough of the load for his team to be victorious in this one.
And 10 of 11 from the free throw line as well. So made his opportunities count, did not allow Hope to get off the hook by fouling him on some of those attempts.
Blackledge is able to get it down to make it an 11-point lead again. Hope is smart here, playing with some passive pressure. Just enough of a look to make these Calvin guys waste a little time. Daly going all the way down. Missed the shot. Tough break there. Daly reached in on Blackledge. Larry Martin looked at it and said, no, we're going to go home soon. But that doesn't mean you can ignore the obvious fouls. And that's a foul that's going to send Gardner to the line. Gardner is going to end up as the scoring leader here tonight for his side. With 2 free throws here, he can match Jordan Daly's 24. And Calvin, boy, hard to remember a time when Calvin this late in the season was under 500, both in league play and overall. They'll drop to 8-10 with a defeat here tonight.
It speaks to how good the MIAA is this year, Tom, and Calvin's also played a very rough schedule. But they have to find scoring outside of Daly and Denny. And that even just a third or fourth contributor on that offensive side would help them a lot. But as you can see, they had great games, but they weren't able to sustain against Hope, which just got a more balanced effort out of their squad.
Greg Mitchell's going to get a couple of guys in for a little taste of the action here at the end. Zach Littleson, the junior from Rochester Hills, comes in. And also sliding into the game, Ray Stills, a junior from Saline. And the free throw goes for Gardner. 73-61 here. Well, when they turn the shot clock off, that's usually when the team that's behind calls it a night. Second half, Hope shooting 56% from the floor. Welch lost it, got it back. Little baseline jumper doesn't go, but Daly's going to get one more chance as he gets the bucket, and will have an attempt at a three-point play. Big scoring night for Jordan with 26.
Yeah, he's going to pad his stats here and give him credit for the game that he played. He gave Calvin that early lead. He helped them maintain it in the halftime. He helped them come back after Hope tried to run away with it, and just a good opportunity for Jordan. And I think they're forgetting that was not a two-shot foul, guys.
Yep, one's all he gets. The basket went in.
The referees were already on their way home as well.
I think they thought there was going to be a timeout taken by Hope, maybe to get somebody else back in the ballgame. Calvin's going to keep pushing. Sam Otto, Carlson, why bother? Down by 9 with 13 seconds left. Hope fans don't like that very much. You know, something that happens in basketball occasionally, I've been reminded of this from time to time. Players are out there playing. They're maybe conscious of the score now, but there's not a lot of clock watching among players when they're actually playing the game. And Parks is just going through the routine there. Ball comes inbounds. We don't get the steal. We foul. It's just something they do by rote. I don't think he's going to do it again. And I don't think Hope is going to put up any opposition here as Carlson gets the free throw. He's now got 8 as he nails them both. Calvin will roll it inbounds. Who gets the last tug here for Calvin? It's Austin Parks, who hits his only field goal of the game. A three-pointer to make it 75-67. Calvin knocks it out of bounds, and I want to remind you that we're going to try to grab a bite with Ben Gardner here. Actually, just a quick interview after the contest, so we'll look forward to talking to him as the clock runs down. The last dribbles belong to Luke Breyer, who's in there. And Greg Mitchell finally gets off the schneid after 4 defeats against Calvin. Hope gets a victory for their second-year coach. The Knights gave it a good battle, but it's the Flying Dutch that finish on top here tonight. Ben Gardner with 23, Harrison Blackledge with 12, and a lot of the other guys chipping in other ways. Calvin had a 2-man attack. Jordan Daly 27, Cam Denny 18, but it's Hope winning here tonight by the score of 75-67. You see the players shaking hands in front of us. There's the coach with Tom Davalar, one of his assistants, and just as soon as we can get Ben Gardner out of the front of the reception line, he'll run over and talk for a moment with Ryan Terpstra before we pack things up here on the night. Hope goes to 6-1 in the NIAA, 16-2 overall. For Calvin, 3 up, 4 down in league action, and 8-10 for the year. So with that, let us head down to the floor right now. And I think somewhere we have Ryan Terpstra down there to talk to Ben Gardner. Ryan.
Yeah, we've got Ben. Hey Ben, how are you doing? I hate to pull you away from the Duke crew, but a big victory for you guys. Talk about coming out of halftime, trailing, able to kind of answer the call.
We knew we had to play a little more focused. We got off to a tough start, but knew we were going to bounce back. I'm proud of the way we all battled in the second half.
You guys have been kind of ahead of falling behind, but able to come back and finish games strong. Can you talk about the team's effort able to do that again in this rivalry game?
We know how to finish games, and so when it gets down to the crunch time, we know we're going to pull it out.
This sets up a good win for you guys. It's a tough MIAA this year. What's your feelings moving forward?
I mean, every game's tough. This is the deepest MIAA the league's been since I've been here. So every game's a battle. We know that. We've been tested by every single team in the conference the first time through. So second time through, we know what to expect. We got to keep it up, and we know we gotta battle ammo when we get them at home.
Congrats, Ben, and you can go back to celebrating. All right, Tom, go back to you.
All right, Ryan Terpstra, thank you. Congratulations to Ben Gardner and his teammates. We're going to take a short break, come back, and talk a little bit about the top players here tonight and give you a preview of what's to come in this rivalry. We'll be back with that right after this.
Support for WGVU Public Media is provided by Macatawa Bank. We make decisions here because your business is here. More information is available at macatawabank.com.
By recycling paper, plastics, metals, and more, Padness is making the world we live in a better one. Padness. Recycling the world over and over.
The career and vocation I have in mind is a combination of biology, public health, international development, and medicine. Calvin lets you do an interdisciplinary major, so I combined public health, international development studies, and biochem. I could not just focus on one thing. I'd like to do all.
I'm Jennifer Moss. West Michigan host for NPR's Morning Edition, heard on WGVU FM. Through All You Have to Do on a weekday morning, we'll bring you all you need to know. FM 88.5 Grand Rapids and 95.3 Muskegon.
Hope wins it tonight, 75-67 over Calvin. Statistically, not much to choose from in this contest. Rebounds, turnovers, very, very even for both sides. It was a one-point game at the half, but Hope came out with that spurt, 10-0 in the first 2 minutes of the second half to take control of the ball game. Our players of the ball game, Ryan Terpstra, first of all, for Calvin, No doubt about it. It was Jordan Daly, double-double.
Not a surprise when you have 27 points and you also finish with 11 rebounds. You got to give the senior a lot of credit. He laid it all out on the floor for them, and he really kept Calvin in this ball game and even gave them a good chance to win. So a clear player of the game for the Knights.
And Ben Gardner was just consistent. He really forced the action, finished with 23, shot the ball pretty well from the field and from the line and from behind the arc too. So all around a very nice ball game for the Indiana player, Ben Gardner.
Yeah, 5 of 8 from three-point land, and at one point he was 5 of 6. So he really came out and provided that leadership that they needed, and he hit some big shots for Hope down the stretch. And as you heard him say, as we talked to him, I mean, it's been kind of a brutal run for them the first time through the league. Getting this victory, even though Calvin's not an Alma right now or one of these highly ranked teams, this is a tough win to get, and you definitely want to protect your home court, and Gardner knows how important that is.
All right, Terp, great job again tonight. I want to remind people that the rivalry continues on February 20th. Something new for us. We're going to have a doubleheader, men's and women's basketball from Calvin for the next go-round. It's going to be an exciting new chapter for us, and we hope you'll be able to join us for that. And with that, we will bid you a fond farewell this evening. For Ryan Terpstra and for our producer-director, Phil Lane, I'm Tom Cleary. Thanks for being with us. Big battle, win number 99 in the series here tonight for Hope. The Flying Dutch win it. It's Hope 75, Calvin 67.
Today's game is underwritten by the Community Foundation of the Holland Zeeland area, creating lasting positive change in our community. Cunningham Dolman PC, accessible, responsive,